What's going on, guys? Crucible here, and today we are going to be breaking down the entirety of the red archetype in Set 3 of Fusion World. Bandai has gone ahead and released the entire card list for Set 3, so now is the time to go over everything that wasn't shown in the previews. Just as a word of forewarning, though, because black is being implemented into the booster set, we have less cards per archetype than we have had in previous sets. That said, though, there's probably going to be a couple gems in here that could probably really stand out and help the red archetype. And, I mean, obviously, red's got its entirety from the past two sets anyway, so red and blue and all the other cards not really getting, like a good chunk of stuff, I think is fine. So, all right, well, let's get into it. So, first off, we got Jiren, the leader. 15k on the front side. He awakens at 3 life, which goes to show that he is the 25k leader for Set 3. When you have a battle card with 30,000 power or more, you take only 1 damage in each battle, and then when you take damage, you draw a card. So he loses his ability to draw. However, his ability allows him to basically be invulnerable to double strike, which is great. And then on top of that, his draw comes from taking damage. So, as shown with the SR Jiren, you have a little bit of like a pseudo draw with Jiren, where you can basically take damage and then restand the life to help facilitate a draw that you otherwise don't have on Jiren. And in the entirety, and from what we've seen in all the previews, there's a plethora of 30,000 leaders that you can play with this guy. So I don't think this is the worst condition. I think Jiren will actually be pretty good as far as the 25k leader goes. But it really just depends on what the rest of the set kind of gives him. Because he got a couple of support cards, like the SR Jiren, but some of the other SRs don't really help him as much as I think we would initially have thought that he would be helped out for. So first off, we got Casserole. 3 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less and Pride Troopers in its special traits from your hand. That's pretty good. I think, obviously paying 3 to play something for 2 or less. We know that black has a card like that for Bardock, where it was a 3-cost Bardock that can play 2-cost Bardock crew. So it's nice to see that red is getting some cheap play options like this to kind of facilitate the wide board, and especially after the ban list with Kefla. I think red needed something like this now more than ever, having some additional options like that. Then we got Kai, the Supreme Kai of Universe 11. He's a 1-drop, 5k power, 5k combo. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, then reveal up to 1 with a cost of 4 or less and Pride Troopers and its special traits and add it to hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the owner's deck. So basically, it's just like Basil from Set 2. Just a searcher for Pride Troopers, nothing crazy. Then we got a 3-cost, 20k power, 10k combo Kaba, who's Tournament of Power. If your leader is awakened, add up to 1 non-Kaba battle card with a cost of 4 or less and Tournament of Power and its special traits from your drop to your hand. This is good. It's basically a 3-cost Glimpse that allows you to pull Tournament of Power cards back to your hand. Having more options to pull from drop, I think Top Coup desperately needs it. So a card like this that allows you to get your Tournament of Power pieces back, and having more options to get your Tournament of Power pieces back is good. Kefla got a big blow with the ban list, and having this to be able to bring her back on top of Glimpse is actually pretty good. So this card will probably be a staple in Top Coup going forward. Then we got a 2-cost Kunchi, 15k power, 10k combo. On play, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 25,000 power or less, and it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So a little bit of some locking potential, a pseudo lock essentially. I think basically not allowing your opponent to swing is actually pretty it's actually pretty detrimental, because it's not as good as freezing like yellow does, because with freezing they stay in rest mode. Whereas with this, like, that's still a combo piece on the board. So if they can't attack, your opponent can still combo with those cards. But I mean, it's good utility. I think it's not bad. The 5K, I mean, I think the power cost, I think, is justified considering that he's basically locking on board. Whether I would say that this is better than minusing or not, though, that I'm not 100% sure on. It'll be something we'll have to see in practice, I think, but it's not terrible. Then we got a Kettle Vanilla, 2 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. Nothing really special there. More Pride Trooper options. Then we got a Tournament of Power Kefla, another one. 3 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. On play, choose up to 2 of your battle cards with Universe 6 and their special traits, and they get 5,000 power for the turn. This is good. There are a lot of Universe 6 cards currently in red, and I think it's a little strange, I think, that we've yet to get any sort, like a Universe 6 leader of some sort. Because I mean, this has a lot of utility. You can actually get this ability off quite easily at this point. You got the 4-drop Kefla, the 3-drop Draw Kefla, you got 5-drop Caulifla, you got the 3-cost Berserk Kale, you have the regular Kale, you have Hit, who's there. Yeah, like there's a lot of options for Universe 6 at this point, and I think having this type of support, I think, is actually good for Universe 6. Might actually make the Universe 6 archetype a little bit better. Oops. All right. Then we got the Cocotte? I don't know how you pronounce this. Just a super combo. Nothing crazy. Just another Pride Trooper super combo option. Then we have the SR Jiren. 4 costs, 30k power, 0 combo. Permanent skill, this card cannot be KO'd once per turn, so he has to be attacked twice in order to be removed off board. And then activate battle, opponent's turn once per turn. When you take a damage, if this card is in rest mode, add the top card of your deck to your life. So, basically the way that this works is it's not quite a life heal. Let's say your opponent is swinging at lead. You activate this ability. You take the damage. You take 1 damage. If this is in rest mode, you then reset that life back into your life. You get the draw. You get a free draw, essentially, by taking the life. And then because of the Jiren leader, since you took a damage, you're drawing again. But the attack is still going to go through on your opponent. So you still need to defend, but at least now you have 2 cards that you can actually use to defend against that attack. I like the tech. I like what this tech is using, and obviously this guy is not going to be easy to remove. So I think this is a good card for Jiren specifically. And he might be good in some of the other red decks too. That we'll have to do a little bit of testing to kind of see on that. But either way, I think this Jiren's actually pretty solid, all things considered. Then we got a Zorei, 1 cost, 15k power, 5 combo. Permanent skill on your turn. If you have a total of 3 or more cards with Pride Trooper and their special traits among your leader and battle cards, this card gets 5,000 power. I mean, a 20k 1 cost isn't actually that bad. And considering that it's taken into account leader and battle cards, you could probably play this later in the game and actually, because once he's on board, he counts himself too. So you only need 1 battle card and your leader on board to use this. It's kind of like the Ginyu effect, right? The 2-cost Ginyu that basically refreshes your energy. It's basically the same type of effect there. So I think this is not bad. For a 1 cost, he's not bad. Then we got a Goku support. 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. When attacking, if there is a battle card with 30,000 power or more, draw 1 card. So this is the at the Bandai Card Games event, there was a alt art for this card. I was under the assumption when I reported on that card that I thought it was like its own standalone thing. Turns out it's this card. I think this is really good. Being able to play this guy for 3, and you have a couple of options where battle cards are going to be 30,000 power or more. So in the Jiren deck specifically, I think this is actually going to be pretty good. Certain cards, I think in U7 will actually benefit from this as well. If you're running U7 and you're playing the 3-drop Gohan, In U7, once you're awakened, he's 30,000 power. So playing this guy the turn after to facilitate a draw is actually really good. There's a lot of utility with this guy. I think you can use this guy in I think every red deck of some sort, and have it work in your favor. So I think he's a good option. Then we got Tupper, 1 cost, 15k power, 10k vanilla. Another Pride Trooper option, nothing crazy. Then we got a 1-drop, 15k power, 5k combo Dispo, where when KO'd, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5,000 for the turn. That's not bad. I think the fact that he's 15k, you can play him turn 1 and get a swing in early for some early aggression. And if your opponent wants to focus on removing him off board, then he can. And potentially you'll get minus 5,000 on a battle card from that as well. So not a terrible option. We got a 2-cost Dispo, 20k power, 5k combo. Permanent skill, if this card would be removed from your battle area by your opponent, you may place 1 card from your life in the owner's drop instead. And then when attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 5,000 power or less and KO it. The secondary ability, I think is not terrible. Being able to just remove cantrips off board just by attacking your opponent, I think is really good. That makes this a little bit better than every other 1-drop that KOs a 1-cost. That being said, the permanent skill, I think there's some cool tech to this. It's basically a pseudo self-awakener. The problem with this being, though, is that you're basically critting yourself by doing this. It keeps him on board, which, depending on when you play this guy, you might want to keep him on board for an extra turn or two. But yeah, I mean, I think this Dispo's fine. Again, it's another card where I think we'll have to see how this kind of operates in practice to really get the full scope of how good he is. But I mean, what he's doing here, it's not that bad. It's not bad. Then we got a Topo, 3 cost, 25k, 10k combo. Just another vanilla. Then we got the SR Topo, 4 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. When attacking, discard 1 card from your hand. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25,000 power or less and KO it. And then when he's KO'd, draw 2 cards. I don't know how good this guy is going to be in Jiren. I think a card like this might actually be really good in Beerus, just for the control aspect of what he's doing. He's not a 30k, so Jiren's not getting the benefit of his main skill because of Topo here. So I'm not 100% sold on this guy in Jiren, but I think this guy could be pretty good in stuff like Beerus. We'll just have to see. Then we got a 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo hit. Another one where, when attacking, if your leader is awakened during this turn, the next time you use an extra card with a cost of 3 or less and Universe 6 and its special traits from your hand, you don't have to pay the cost. This is extremely situational. I'm thinking unless there's new Universe 6 extra card support in this set, the only other U6 option that I think you would be using would be Time Skip and the U6 Searcher extra card. Outside of those 2 cards, unless there's something else here, I don't think you're really getting the full use of this particular card. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. It's not a bad effect. I just think that later in the match, you might be wanting to place other stuff than this. But we'll have to see what else is offered. Then we got a 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo Beerus. I like the art on this. The big Beerus head. He's a Self-Awakener on play. And then activate main, you pay 1 energy, and then you place this card in the owner's drop. If your leader has God of Destruction in its special trait, play up to 1 Beerus with 35,000 power from your hand. Okay, I actually like this card. Okay, so this is definitely meant to be run in Beerus. So yeah, you pay 3 for, you basically pay 3 for this guy. Play this on turn 4 for 3 energy. You pay, swing with him. Pay 1 energy to remove him off board to play your 35k board clearer Beerus with crit for 1 cheaper, one turn sooner. You could even do this on turn 3 if you have if you have the energy marker. So I think that's actually pretty cool. I like this. Then we got Vuon. 2 cost, 15k power, 10k combo, who's a blocker, who just self-awakens in hand. It's not a bad option. It's a blocking option. Self-awakeners are always going to be good. And it's part of the Pride Trooper theme, so for Jiren... I mean, Jiren specifically doesn't necessarily need Pride Trooper, though. So you're probably still better off running the 2-cost crit Caulifla over this guy. Because, I mean, 15k blocker's nothing. But, I mean, it's not a bad option, I think. If you want to stay in line with Pride Troopers, he's not a bad option. Then we got this 3-cost Vegeta. 20k power, 5k combo. This guy's nuts. When attacking, discard 2 cards from your hand, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, this card cannot be KO'd and gets 30,000 power. So he's a 50k beat stick if you discard 2 from your hand. That cannot be KO'd. And then activate main once per turn. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO it. Then KO this card. Because if you proc that first ability, this guy can't be KO'd, you don't have to KO this card at the end. Like, he stays on board. So, I mean, this guy could be really good with Jiren, especially if you get that skill off. The problem being, though, is that there's a lot of stuff that's not there's a lot of removal in this game that's not KOing. So, in terms of his staying power, if you're up against blue, he can be returned to hand or bottom decked. If you're running green, he can be ramped. If yellow, he can just freeze him down. They can just lock him down. Red can minus him. He's not that hard initially to really get over. It's like if you're going to play this guy, you have to play this guy with the intent of using that first ability, I think. Because otherwise, he's just easy removal. So keep that in mind with this guy. But I think this guy's pretty good. I think you could probably run this guy to 2 of in every deck, and I think he'll have some staying power. Then we got a 2-cost Belmod, 20k power, no combo. When attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20,000 power or less, and it gets minus 15,000 power for the turn. I think this will be good in Beerus. I think he can also do decently well in Jiren as well. It just really kind of depends. Being 0 combo cost kind of hurts, but considering that you're minusing 15 at 2, I don't think it's that bad. Then we got a 1-cost Margarita, 10,000 power, 10,000 combo. On play, if your leader's awakened, choose up to one of your battle cards and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. I think this card is really good. I think one of the better common cards, I think, out there. Just being able to pay 1 energy to up something by 10,000 and then being able to combo with her for an additional 10,000, I think is pretty great. I think it's pretty nuts. There's not really much else to say. Like, I think this is for the cost that you're paying, and for essentially 20,000 power. Like, this card's doing a lot. It's doing a lot. Then we get to the extra cards. 2 cost. It's over. Activate main. If you have a battle card with 30,000 power or more, choose all of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO them. Really good board clear. This will work extremely well in Jiren, I think. In other decks, it might be a little questionable because you need that 30,000 power. Double Striker, Goku, Crit Beerus. The 3-cost Vegeta can be over 30,000. There's only a select few number of cards that that you would actually be able to have this proc. So it all depends on your build. I think this card can be really good, but it's really going to be dependent on how you build your deck. Then we have we have 5 greatest showdown of all time, 5 cost. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 20,000 power for the turn. Then play a battle card with a cost of 4 or less and Universe in its special traits from your hand. I don't know how I feel about this card. The fact that you're paying 5, that's very costly for red. Paying 5 energy for this, is actually, really bad. I mean, minus 20,000, you have cards for cheaper that already do that. Like the Double Striker Goku does this. I mean, I guess the benefit, okay, maybe I'm overthinking it. The benefit of this is that you're basically getting the Double Striker effect of minusing 20,000, but you're also playing something on board cheaper. So if you couple this with like Kefla, for example, since she has Universe in the tag, you get 2 cards on the board, and you're only minusing maybe 1, 2 at the most out of hand. I don't know. I think this card's extremely situational. I'm not 100% sold on this card. Again, testing is going to have to be done to kind of see, but it's okay. It's okay. Then we have a 1-cost double cannon maximum. Activate battle, choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards. It gets 15,000 power for the battle. Then if you have a total of 3 or more Pride Trooper cards and their special traits among your leader and battle cards, your leader gets 5,000 power for the turn. Okay, so for 1, you're boosting by 15. And then you're giving a permanent 5,000 power for the turn. This is going to be a must-run in Jiren. This is basically Sensu Bean for 1 cost for Jiren. And you're defending something on board. Yeah, I think this is a good card. I think this is good. Again, Pride Troopers being 3 or more total. Only 2 battle cards and your leader. Like, I don't think this is that hard of a restriction to get over. I think this is fine. Yeah, I like this card. I think this will be a must run in Jiren. I think that's pretty good. Then we got Sphere of Destruction. 2 costs. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less. Then if your opponent's life is at 4 or more, deal 1 damage to your opponent. This card is going to be really good on this card's going to be really good on crit leaders. Excuse me. It's going to be really good on crit leaders, and it's going to be really good against Broly. I think if you're a Broly player and you run into a red deck, there's a good possibility that you're just losing, because this card's going to set Broly from 4 to 3, which means Broly's going to have to awaken down to 2, and Broly being at 2 is a really rough situation. I mean, this is a good card. I think this is going to really affect crit leaders quite a bit, and it's really going to yeah, it's really going to affect crit leaders, and it's really going to affect Broly in particular. Zamasu, this doesn't really affect Zamasu all that much since he's 25k. It's not going to really affect Jiren all that much because he's going to awaken at 3. Zamasu awakens at 3. Yeah, no. I mean, this is a solid card. I think it's going to do a lot for the game, honestly. All right, and that's going to do it for the red archetype, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think red as a whole, I think most of the support's for Jiren, but there's a couple options here that I think really kind of bolster up other archetypes and special traits and stuff from previous sets. Universe 6 getting some support, I think, is great. Yeah, Universe 6 getting support is great. U7 getting some support is great. Top Coup getting a little bit of extra support is great. I got no complaints with red. I think red is looking really solid this set, and it's really just going to be dependent on what the rest of the meta kind of does to see where red kind of stands. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for the love and support as always. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.